I'd been raped at 18. I imagined that I would be so furious sitting opposite the rapists who I was determined to interview. In fact, I knew that if I didn't sit and look into the eyes of the men who did that to this young girl, the most brutal, unimaginable cruelty, quite apart from the rape. If I didn't sit in front of them and look into their eyes and find out what kind of human beings they were, then I resolved I wouldn't make that film. I would pack my bags and go back home, because we need to know how to change, not just be reactive to these horrific abuses of human rights that are just ubiquitous in the world. I was so convinced that I would be so angry that I might even physically assault one of them, that I begged the Director General of the prison to allow me to practice on other rapists so that I could test my own mettle before I came to the subjects of my film. And that's what I did. One of these men I practiced on had raped a 5-year-old girl. And he felt no remorse or regret for what he had done. He had been programmed to do what he did. The mindset that says you, based on your religion, gender, color of skin, whatever it is, ethnicity, caste, class, are of less value than I am. That is the disease. And the violence, the abuse, is just the symptom of that disease. It was a total reversal of expectations for me of everything that I anticipated I would learn from this 2.5-year journey making the film. Only one of all of those men I'd interviewed in those prison cells had finished secondary school. So I immediately thought, well, that is a huge clue. It's not a coincidence, right? Very important. And 2 weeks later, I found myself sitting and interviewing their entire legal team, who, despite having had the highest degree of access to what we call education, were worse than the rapists. And I mean that. Worse. They made the rapists sound like normal, ordinary men.
We have the best culture. In our culture, there is no place for a woman. She should not be put on the street just like food. If you put your diamond on the street, certainly the dog will take it out. You can't stop.
And that is when I started to research, to ask questions like, what could have intervened with the mindset of those rapists? And research yielded the fact that if we want to put in a foundation of values, empathy, moral compass, we've got to do it before the age of 6. I started the Think Equal work, which is the NGO that I founded, which is a movement and a very concrete program. So I resolved to give the rest of my life to the action that it will take, which basically is on a global scale, to ensure that every child in every classroom, in every country in the world, gets what that child's inalienable right is, the right to a foundation in the competencies and skills that that child needs in order to have positive outcomes in life, so that that child does not grow up and rape. How can you deem it to be compulsory for them to learn numeracy and literacy, but it's optional for them to learn how to value another human being? Women have to start leading more and more and faster and faster. That's the only thing that's going to save us.